Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of Rockstar Launcher, where we talk about the intersection of business and law and pretty much everything else that comes up as we're going along. My name is Susie Fulton. I'm a co-founder of a virtual business and commercial law firm. I'm joined here today by my rockstar partner, Wei Wei Zhang, and she will introduce you to our guests today.
Thanks, Susie. I am just so thrilled to bring Dan Combe, a longtime client, to our show today.
Well, thank you.
I've worked with Dan for, I would say, probably 10 plus years.
Pretty close to that, yes.
And Dan is one of those people, one of those inventors who have an active mind, imaginative mind, and always trying to solve problems that he sees around him. And I've had the pleasure of working with you on a couple of those ideas, and I think we're going to get some traction on at least one of them.
That's right.
So, Dan,
well, thank you.
These two inventions, of course, we're going to talk about them in more detail. They're so different.
They are. They're two very different products. And they all stem from my foundation in real estate, really, because as my primary job for a number of years, for 20 years, I'm a real estate broker. So as a real estate broker, you naturally will go out and sell a variety of different products or structures. So I started in residential real estate, and in the residential real estate field, I would go and do the inspections with the inspector. And I would actually attend about 70 inspections per year on average. As time progressed, I got into farm and ranch. My brokerage led me into farm and ranch, land and lots, acreage and development. And I also do some commercial real estate. We have a major gas station chain that just closed on a property yesterday. So,
I guess I can see the progression then, how you went from one to the next.
That's right.
Should we talk about SafeTPost first?
Yeah, that'd be great. SafeTPost is a product, and I'll just kind of lift this up. As a product, I have been selling farms and ranches, and I was trying to sell a 200-acre ranch out in Jack County. And on one of my showings, the buyer, a rancher, was into horses and the equine business. Now, these horses were extremely valuable. Each one of the horses would cost well in excess of $50,000. And if one of them were hurt, injured, or damaged, well, then the expense was much greater than the cost of most fencing. Now, to put a perimeter fence around a several hundred-acre property would have cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the gentleman mentioned to me, he said, "Hey, I love the ranch, I love the land and the farm, and the additional improvements that are on it are great, but it would cost me close to probably $300,000 to replace all the fencing." And I said, "Well, share with me a little bit more." And he told me about how the horses, over the years, if somebody has a barbed wire fence, which if you don't know about farm and ranching, the most common one to be able to contain cattle is a barbed wire fence. So you have a post similar to this, and then along the rails, going up each one of these pipes, you have a series of wires. Now, sometimes they have smooth wire, sometimes they have barbed wire. In this situation, the barbed wire has the ability to cut the horses, damage them, and naturally their skins, their hides, are easily damaged. The tops of the posts are often sharp. And if a horse runs up to one of those fences, rears up, and comes down on the top of the post, well, naturally they'll be pretty severely injured. So I invented a bracket that goes around the pipe.
Here.
And what's amazing is that in 125 years that these extrusion molds have been created,
Commonly called the T-post.
The T-post,
and
yes.
It's ubiquitous. Right?
Yes, the T-post has multiple different sizes. I don't know that I'll be able to take this cap off.
They come in different lengths.
Yes,
because I use them on my land.
Yes, and they come in different lengths, and they come in different weights. They come in a 1.25 pounds per linear foot, all the way up to a 1.5 pounds per linear foot. Now, when you get the problem that most other inventors have faced is how do you manage the extension of these arms? The one arm
rib.
this direction, and then as it crosses over, the weight is still the same per linear foot, but the length of the arms for each manufacturer is going to be slightly different. So we created a flexible galvanized steel stamped product that,
So it's right.
yes, thank you, that from the side, you can remove this pin and put it on any size T-post. Now, these are really great from everything from hanging real estate signs all the way up to putting them on the top of a high fence ranch, because when someone has an 8 or 10 foot fence, the wildlife still attempts to jump over that fence. A lot of times when they're in the attempt of jumping over the fence, they hang upside down from those. They get injured. So this actually prevents them. If you put a top rail on each one of those fences, all of a sudden, correct, you have the ability to prevent the animal from passing away at the top of the fence. Okay.
Yeah, so there are holes here where you can just use any kind of fastener.
That's correct.
And fasten that.
And this slides open, so as it necks down, if you have this bolt in here, you can put it over a wide variety of lengths. And really, I have not yet found a T-post that does not fit.
Wow.
Correct, because this slides up and then chokes down on it. So it makes the hanging of real estate signs almost instantaneous, whereas before I had to have a professional company go out and drill a hole. They had to take an auger out there, and it could cost thousands of dollars to hang a real estate sign, and now it only costs a few $100s for me to hang a real estate sign.
Is this something, so, you know, in our neighborhood, obviously people buying, selling houses all the time, and if I look closely, is your bracket probably going to be there? Is it getting pretty well known?
It wouldn't be there. No, it wouldn't be there. On a lot of the rural developments and the real estate signs that go on larger parcels of land where they have to have a 4 foot by 8 foot sign, yes, it would go out
so you're
there.
having, all right,
Yeah.
so you're
That's
just
right.
the larger properties.
Correct. And the Texas Department of Transportation has limitations on the types of signs, so you typically have to put them directly on a fence line, which if you're going to put a real estate sign on a fence line, in most cases, they already have a barbed wire fence there, and the property owner just has to say,
yeah,
you don't even need to install a T-post.
Yeah.
You can just attach this to the existing T-posts that are in the ground, and put your sign directly on it.
Yeah.
So this is solving a lot of different problems, it seems like. Just
it's
one
become
thing, right?
It's become really interesting to find out all the different markets that people have found for that product. Now, on the flip side, for the more residential market, we've been able to use these because in the residential market, when you build a fence, a lot of times that fence has a wooden post, right?
Right.
Well, the wooden post, you have regular landscaping. Well, your landscapers come through the weed eater, and every time they come and mow your lawn, the weed eater brushes up against the post and chews away a little bit of the outside of the perimeter of that wooden pole. Well, pretty soon you're not left with a very sturdy wooden pole. Whereas if you use a T-post, you can protect.
Lasts forever.
It makes, yeah, that's right.
That's awesome.
And we have some images that I've shared with you for that purpose, so you can see exactly the types of installation and the type of fence, because now you have much greater and more broad variety of fencing that can be done. Now this, when you're out in a rural application and you're building a fence, a lot of times you'll have screws, bolts, and other items. Or if you're hunting, you like to put a cup right here, or you might have a pocket knife that you want to hang from the front of it. Well, that opens it up for vendors such as Academy Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, and other places like that, because when you're out in the wild and you need a little table, I have a table about this size on the top of a T-post in my backyard, and it's wrapped in cedar, and it looks really pretty, and it's just a little decorative thing out in the backyard next to a couple of chairs. So
what I thought was also genius is that it's not just for fencing. You can actually build outbuildings
That's
using
right.
T-post.
And I've actually constructed an entire chicken coop using this as the foundation
Yeah,
of it,
so
because
This thing,
you can
yeah.
attach wire very easily to it, and you can attach lumber to it very easily. And the chicken wire you can run flush up against the ground. And so my chicken coop in the backyard, I have 6 hens and a couple of roosters.
Okay.
The roosters were an accident, by the way. My daughter picked the chickens and
she
ended
got
up with a
rooster.
couple of roosters.
That was what
so.
I saw. I think I'm not a Facebook user, but I was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of looking at since we hadn't met before today, so I thought, oh, I'll look see what Dan's done, and I saw the chicken coop that you had built.
Well, thank
right
you.
across
And
the
you can find all of this information on SafeT with the letter T post.com. No Y in it, so it's not safety with a Y, it's SafeTPost. So,
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Okay. Well, now it's always interesting to me.
And it's patent pending, I'm sorry.
yes, it is patent pending. It is stamped on the back of every product with the product website and the patent pending notification on it.
Your attorney has us covered.
My attorney, yes, my attorney advised me well.
And
So
that brings me to my next question. I'm always curious as to, and this for you is the intersection of business and law. Where the law comes together with your business. How did you and Weiwei meet? How did you end up with Weiwei?
I met Weiwei through a referral from somebody else that had was attempting to submit a patent. And
Do you remember who?
I just have to go back and look at my notes. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
been so
also
long.
know a friend of mine who's in law, Jim Bullock. You know James Edward Bullock? He's a friend
Not
of mine.
well, but
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
He's a friend
Okay.
of mine. Sorry for that.
So
plug.
there's a
We're
small,
kind of famous,
yeah, there's
so,
Yes, and so when I needed a patent, this other attorney had referred me to you because of your expertise in this type of patent law.
And
So-
that's
Fantastic.
something we're really proud of with our firm, because Weiwei is
Mhm.
definitely one of the well-known and sought-after patent
Mhm.
attorneys, and for sure Dallas, probably Texas, nationally she's done patents for lots of people outside of
That's
Texas.
right.
So really, really proud of
Yes,
what
and
she's
intellectual
done.
property as a whole, I might add, because she also was able to get 2 registered trademarks for me
Fantastic.
on the next products.
And we can talk more about this invention that's been
Okay.
patented.
Yes. And one thing that I like to show to everybody is this truly does validate the work and the effort that
Idea.
you guys put
Oh,
forth. And
your
Um,
idea that's inventive and recognized by the
Well,
patent office.
it is a wonderful thing. So you guys have put a lot of work into these projects as well, and I know that your hearts and your souls really go into them also. And
Yes.
some of the verbiage that you assist your clients in creating, because I don't know what they do without that expertise.
That's
So
what we do.
You really
And you have
streamline
a couple
it.
of other ones there.
That's right.
As well.
And so this product here, so being in real estate and going through all of the inspections, I was going through an inspection one day in a garage, and I was standing there with the inspector and just having a normal discussion with him about carbon monoxide in the garage, because there was a water heater in the garage. There are also a number of other appliances, and a lot of times people have gas cans that they store in their garage. Now, each one of the garages have an eye sensor light on each side of the garage door. And just standing there, I thought to myself, well, isn't that strange that the garage sensors have the eyes to make sure that nobody crosses that line so the garage door doesn't come down on them, but why do those eye sensor lights not have a carbon monoxide sensor on them? So the idea was spawned from standing in a garage with an inspector, looking down with the eye sensor light and thinking to myself, I can attach a carbon monoxide detector on each side of that garage door, put a device such as this. Now, keep in mind, this is a dramatically oversized unit, because I had the University of North Texas Engineering Department put this together as a group of 4 seniors. So I sponsored the University of North Texas senior engineers to be able to create a prototype and a proof of concept
Okay.
for me. So they really proved it up for me.
Yeah.
They put this together. This would go on the back wall on the opposite side from the garage door. So this has a sensor on it, and then you have eye sensors there, and we hook up a universal remote, hence the 3 buttons. So most garage door openers have 3 buttons on them for different doors that may open and close. When it detects carbon monoxide in excess of a certain threshold, the eye sensor light turns off. With the eye sensor light turned off, that garage door will only go up.
Right.
While it's doing that, it also calls you. It calls your alarm system company, and it can notify the authorities of the problem. Okay. We don't know what that airborne toxin is, whether it's natural gas, whether it's carbon monoxide, what the situation, but regardless of that, we need to know where it came from, where it originated, and how do we turn that off. So the key to the patents, one of the keys to the patents really is the actuators that are involved. So once you receive that signal, it sends a message to different areas throughout the house. It might be the breaker panel, okay, where you have a new form of breaker that shuts off, not because of the flow of excess power. I mean, everybody is familiar with a GFCI or an AFCI because they see that little red button on the wall switch that's in their bathroom. They know that if they plug in a hairdryer and a space heater, well, they're going to pop that thing, and they have to come back in and repress that button to reset it. Now, Cosmic Breaker, Cosmic, that you guys helped me trademark, is an acronym. CO for carbon monoxide, SM for smoke, I for interrupting, C for circuit. So it's just like a ground fault circuit interrupt, which is a GFCI. And it's just like an AFCI, but it trips not from the flow of too much electricity behind the wall, but it trips because of an airborne toxin that could potentially kill or injure you or a family member.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
Going from garage doors, you went on to automatically ventilate.
Oh yes, yes. So we can hook these up with the fans, and I have ventilation system companies that I'm in discussions with right now about pairing the carbon monoxide detectors, not detectors necessarily, but a carbon monoxide system such as this, the sensors with Cosmic and Cosmic Breaker, to trigger the ventilator, the ventilation. Now, in my house, I'm a father of 4 daughters. So part of what I set in place when I built my house 10 years ago was a humidistat. I knew that my daughters were young. They were going to be taking showers in my bathroom, but I didn't want mold. I didn't want mildew. I didn't want water damage. And I knew that 3 little girls and 4 little girls wouldn't be very good at turning on that bathroom fan. Okay. So I put a humidistat in the ceiling with a blower motor in there because I couldn't hook up a Cosmic Breaker switch into it yet. And whenever they turn the shower handle on, to turn on the shower, the fan kicks in and it vents it out until the humidity level drops below that threshold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can use it for temperature, you can use it for water, you can use it for humidity, and there's so many additional great features. And we're also planning a thermostat in the future to replace a much more robust system that you'd have than some of the others.
And
Yeah. Every time I see in the news a family has, passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning accidentally, or
That's right.
even in resort rooms or cabins where these things happen, I would just send you a text.
I did.
Or
I received
email,
a few of those.
and just, it's devastating to see this happening when you have something that
can help, right?
Yes, to know that the companies should adopt this and license the technology and put it into their own products, because really we're not out to produce a product that is all-encompassing. We don't have the bandwidth, the threshold, the employment, the staff, or anything like that. When we can put this technology into the hands of Johnson Controls, Westinghouse, Siemens, General Electric, they have the true ability for instant
To
market
integrate it in,
penetration.
right.
And
But all they need
incorporate
to,
it.
that's
Yeah.
right. And all they need to do is adopt these licenses into their current systems and delivery systems.
Yeah.
Well, and it would be great, you know,
So-
like to have that in every house that's made, right?
Oh, it
It's
should
just
be.
become something that, for the safety aspect of it, that you just put it in every house.
Yes,
right?
and
So-
I've spoken to quite a number of fire marshals, city inspectors, and they would love to have it part of mandatory construction code. But getting it into that code is a whole nother beast. And right now, I'm just one person.
just trying to get it
Do it in
going.
your
So-
spare time that
That's
you have
right.
very little of.
Trying to fill the time with 4 daughters, a wife, a couple of grandkids, and
Okay, with all the 4 daughters and what I think the next one needs to be something, you know, in the picking up the room, because I know when my daughter, she's in college now, but there were always a
robotic
lot
house
of
cleaning.
yeah,
Yes.
there were always a lot of clothes and things left on the floor. So
Yeah.
I think, you know, with daughters, that's another market for you there.
That could
with
be a
all the-
Roomba
yes,
maid
yes.
kind of
So-
aspect.
exactly
You
right.
have the Roomba
Right.
for the girls.
Yeah, there's a lot
Absolutely.
there, I think, for the
Yeah.
next invention for you.
Well, I
So,
appreciate that. We need
now-
to get this one launched.
Let me
Yeah,
ask.
sounds like you have some traction on this one as well.
Oh yes, I've had a number of companies say that it's one of their number one ideas for expansion into the future. But throughout the development of this product, we have run into a few little hangups. Naturally, everybody knows about the pandemic that took place. When the pandemic took place, getting a chipboard was nearly an impossibility.
Wow.
Okay. We were not able to get them. Detroit wasn't able to get them. We had vehicle shortages for years that were stemmed from the same problems. Okay. Well, now we have Texas Instruments building a new manufacturing facility up in the Sherman-Denison area right here in Texas. And my goal is to be able to manufacture
There.
from Texas. So
Made in Texas.
we'll see. Made in Texas, the 9th largest economy in the world. So
That's fantastic. I really want the life-saving aspect of it being deployed everywhere because it really would save lives.
well, I believe it would. For example, now I know that we started just off in the garage, but we've expanded that to the HVAC system. So
Right.
another year's project that I did, I had 4 entirely different students at UNT Engineering that introduced it and implemented it for an air conditioning system so that the air return would detect any kind of airborne toxin, send a message back to the system, and prevent smoke from circulating through all the air ducts. Now, the insurance companies could also benefit from that dramatically because if they put additional riders on their policies, they could offset some of their costs and potentially charge more for those people that didn't have this system in place.
A lot of the smoke detectors are now part of this, you know, the wiring of the house. And even I don't think I've seen carbon monoxide detectors.
Some of them are multi-units.
Yeah, but a lot of them are just plug into
Right.
existing outlets.
right.
But it's so easy to just incorporate it into part of the HVAC.
It
Well, it's
should
great.
be. However, carbon monoxide has a specific gravity that's very common to air. Okay, so if you look at this from a technical perspective, when you have a structure with an 8-foot ceiling, the carbon monoxide has a tendency to stagnate somewhere around the 5-foot level.
Oh,
Now, if it's on the ceiling, that doesn't work. Now, if it's on the
Yeah.
floor, that doesn't work. The carbon monoxide has specific gravity, 0.97. Okay, what that
Oh.
means is that the ideal location for all of that is right at your wall switch. So I also sponsored a UNT engineering
go.
group to put them on the wall switch so that all emergency providers, all EMS caregivers would be able to walk in right at that front door, at that garage door,
see it.
see instantly what the
Yeah,
parts per million are, and have a detection correlator to where they could tell, okay, well, the carbon monoxide problem started closest to the fireplace. Okay.
So you'll be able
Well,
to see the readings or where.
That's right. You
various
can see the
parts of house,
readings,
right.
and it would terminate that loop closest to that.
Okay.
You've heard of these homes automatically combusting and exploding, right?
Right.
Well, my thought is, and I don't have real statistical data on it, But my interpretation of that is that there was gas buildup in the house. It got to a pilot light, typically with an old gas water heater or some other gas device, and it just hit that flame, and the whole house went up.
Yeah.
So this would be able to identify it and potentially prevent things like that by shutting off the valves.
Indicated as one person how, and you have the real estate job, you have the Cosmic Breaker, you have the SafeTBracket,
That's right.
SafeTPost and all. How do you decide where to focus your 24 hours that everybody has in the day?
That's a good question. It usually has to do with location and the quantity of time that I have and the time of the day. So I've gotten real good at scheduling my emails to go out at a certain time or scheduling my text messages to go out at a certain time. But really the transportation between one location and the next, I drive a very reliable, fast car.
We won't tell. We were talking earlier about my my cop friend. We won't tell him. So
That's right.
So another question I had, I was thinking about this now. If we, as you're growing up, and would it be surprising to your parents to see you as this inventor guy now? Would they be surprised?
They would probably be surprised, yes, because really my mom was widowed when she was 27. So my dad was killed in a car accident when I was 2.
Oh goodness.
My older brother was killed in a car accident when I was 22.
Oh my.
So my mom had to deal with the loss of a husband and a firstborn son. I naturally, being young, and I was 2 years old at the time of the car accident, I kind of took over a lot of responsibility for the family. So I was one of those not so good at school students, but very creative, very inventive, and outdoors all the time. So I was very active with work, with jobs, and constantly busy with little to no supervision. So for helicopter parents, you are not helping your children.
That inventiveness early on, probably wasn't too surprising. She's like, oh,
had to figure it out on my own because there wasn't someone to tell me how to do it.
Right.
Although I did have a friend of mine's dad who was the director of grounds maintenance for Texas A&M, and he taught me how to fabricate things in a garage. He taught me some basic electronics and wiring, and he said one of the best things that he said, well, your car's broken. Yes. He said, well, do you know what part's broken? I'm like, yes, sir. He says, well, go find parts that look exactly like those, take it apart, put the new ones on, and put it back together. But that's all there was to it. And so I learned early on that was what it took. In a different job of mine, I was selling call and speech recording systems for the police, 911, federal government, and hospitals.
Oh.
I got to wire the systems for some of the Air Force bases.
So you have some technical
I have some technical background.
Not just a marketing major.
Not just a marketing major, but that was not a degree of mine. So
it wasn't?
No, there was no engineering degree.
Yeah.
But in sales, a lot of times the salesmen are the ones that end up instructing doctors, for example, how to do surgeries. People don't realize, a salesman's teaching the doctor how to do that surgery. Okay. At one of the major aircraft manufacturing facilities here, they didn't want to put black boxes into the fighter aircraft. They had me go up and do a real-time encrypted radio frequency monitoring device so that they could monitor the aircraft from the control tower. And if a black box fell, it would never get down behind enemy lines. So it was real-time radio frequency monitoring that was encrypted. So I got to sell those. I got to install them. I got to fix them. I got to do the microprocessor, chipboard software, firmware, hardware updates.
Wow.
And so
I learned all of that
through I learned a lot of that through the sales jobs that I had.
That's incredible. And now I'm seeing kind of a thread in this with where your company is called the SafeTPost, right? And
this one is SafeTPost. You can find this one at cosmicbreaker.com.
Okay, so two separate.
I have multiple companies now.
But you have a theme, and maybe it was born of the tragedies, from the death of your brother and your father,
Yeah.
where you have safety. I mean, there's a safety theme in all
yeah.
of this with the posts, keeping the animals safe, and with the
Yeah.
Cosmic Breaker, keeping people safe from carbon monoxide. So I see
guess it
this
does.
kind of this theme that has been running through your ideas, where you're just, there is a safety theme in what
Well,
you're inventing. I love that.
I didn't
So,
think about that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
We-
but yeah, so I think that is awesome. I think we're almost out of time, so I
Okay.
want to close with a final question. And what is your one piece of advice that you would give to whoever, your daughters or people who are trying to break through or start up like you've been doing?
I don't want to quote Nike, but just do it. Okay, reach out to people that really are professionals that know. Ask for advice from people who have gone through those experiences. Seek good quality legal counsel. Okay,
We were
And-
hoping for that.
and get the success and the rewards that you're after. From there, find people that have the money that can help you to be able to accomplish those things. You can do all of it on your own, but it'll just take you a whole lot longer. So it just depends on how much time you feel you have and what your focus is at the time.
But just do it.
I
Just
think
do it.
there's really, it's very, very rare that there's that overnight success.
Well.
So it's a lot of grinding and hard work in the background that people don't see.
That's
So,
right.
well, I mean, this has been a great show. Dan, you're amazing. I love your inventiveness and your creativeness and the way that you're out trying to help people and help animals and everything. Love it. It's been great. Thank you for joining us again for another edition of Rockstar Launcher, and we'll catch you next time.